What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome in. Season 3, episode 9. I got a follow up. I got a good one. It's Tuesday. I'm excited. Let's go. What's up? What's up? You are now tuned in to Sports Talk with me, your girl Whitney B. Oh, look at me messing up. I'm excited. I'm gonna just start by saying, come on, like Michigan sports teams, we showed out this weekend. The Pistons took one L like last Friday. I think it's Thursday or Friday or something like that. But other than that, like one yesterday, Michigan State won, the Lions won, Michigan won, the Red Wings won. Like, come on. I'm even convinced that the Tigers would have won if they were still playing, but that's neither here nor there. I am so excited, and congratulations to the Astros for pulling it out against Philly in the World Series. You know, that's good for Houston. But I'm on a high. Sunday, y'all, first I wasn't even gonna say this, or maybe I was gonna say it, but what the hell is going on with the balls in the NFL? It's like they just dropping them. Why? What's going on? But anyway, Sunday was a good week in football. Like Saturday was good. I was so happy to see Michigan State bounce back, and we're going to get to that. But yes, I said it. Me, big Michigan fan, so happy to see Michigan bounce back. So here I am Sunday, watching the Lions game, and I'm like, oh my God. Like this is what we need. Like this is what we needed in Michigan. Like all across the state, no matter which team you root for, our team won. Unless you a Green Bay Packers fan. Sorry, youth pastor, if you watching. My pastor, Tracy Stevenson. He's a big Green Bay Packers fan, and I did check on him on Facebook once they took that L. And we'll get to that. But I'm just excited. I'm happy. Then I want to also say thank y'all. Like I see the numbers. I see the increase. I see the growth in the show, and it makes me happy to continue to do this because I love getting up and talking about sports. Like we could talk about sports wherever, whenever, but I love being able to just share my opinions, with y'all. And it's growing and I see it and I'm happy. So thank you. I just wanted to start off like on a very good note. Got a quick update about the whole Michigan State, tunnel brawl situation. When we was here last week, I let you guys know it was 4 players, excuse me, on the defensive side of the ball that were suspended. Well, later that day, I believe the same day after I already had recorded, it was 4 more players suspended. So 8 in total, other defensive players, Malcolm Jones, Jason White, Jacoby Windman, and Brandon Wright. It was a question, like huge question mark, especially the way that Michigan State had been playing prior to last week. It was a huge question mark losing, the team, like some key players on the team, Jacoby at that linebacker position, and, just other players, especially just having that stigma. Mel Tucker, like I mentioned last week, he did not need that kind of press already coming off all these L's, So it was a lot for the university itself to overcome in that football game against a tough Illinois. Still at the top of the Big Ten West. So I I mean, I think Michigan gonna whoop their ass next week, but we'll talk about that too. So um it was good that Michigan State pulled it back together as a team and defeated Illinois, and did it in a good way. I still feel like Peyton Thorne sucked, but he pulled it off. You have to be able to win the games, especially the games that's unexpected. Aaron Rodgers and the Lions, we'll get to that. But I just feel like I'm happy. Like I'm happy for Michigan State, and I just hope that like nothing like that ever happens in college football again for no team. But it just raises a lot of questions. I had a few people ask me, really, like, what do you think it's over for Michigan State? And I don't. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. But what I do think is that they're going to look at things a lot differently, really across, the Big Ten and even other NCAA sports. Like, it's no excuse. And using the excuse that these are kids and they're immature and all, these are adults. But you get it. It's emotional, So I think you got to just protect the players at all costs. So it's good. I'm happy for Michigan State pulling the dub, the win, on to Rutgers next week, which I do think Michigan State can beat Rutgers too, the way Rutgers played against Michigan. We'll get to that. Yeah, so Rutgers, they a good team. I'm not going to say they're not a good team. The Big Ten is a really good conference. Like, I stand on that. But yeah, so I think Michigan State, they definitely put themselves back in the conversation to have a bowl game. Somewhere down the line, if they can continue to win these next few games, then I think Michigan State can really pull it off. And I'm glad to see Michigan finally get the respect that they deserve, in the college football playoff list. Because, why not? Because I think number 5, like, that was done. I think Michigan better than Clemson, and it's not even a bias. And Tennessee is balling, but after that L to Georgia, especially the way they took that L, like, my God. And then they was trying to make a comeback, granted, but, come on. Like, Georgia really, okay, the dogs, they literally are dogs, like, gritty ass players. I would love to see, like, the Lions play like that, like, just big and just so we'll get to the Lions though. Yeah, so Michigan is back where they need to be. I do think Michigan is going to take the Big Ten again. I honestly, I think that they're going to go into Columbus and win. Everybody want to say they differences in the team, but the way Ohio State has been playing, it's a shock that the committee even have Ohio State over Michigan. Because what are we judging it on? Like, what is it? Popularity because of the previous years? But even if we want to look at last year, Michigan won the Big Ten and beat Ohio State. So if we're going to go off of what we have in front of us, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I would love to read a manual to see how the committee works or what they do. But if we have to go off of what Ohio State is doing versus what Michigan is doing and how they're controlling these teams on both sides of the ball, I think what Michigan has done well, very, very well this year is those second half adjustments when they go into halftime and they sit down as a team and we go to the drawing board and this is what that team is doing and this is how we got to stop them, and period. When this Rutgers game, it was looking like real questionable in the first half. And I actually believe Michigan was down like 3 points maybe. It might have been like 14-17 or something like that. Excuse me. And when they were going into halftime, I remember me and my boo, we was sitting there talking about it. And he was like, Michigan got to step it up. And I'm like, well, Michigan is going to come out and steamroll them and they won't score another point. And definitely that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like they scored 0 points in the second half. It looked like the Lions. Previous week Lions, like not last week's Lions, because they scored 7 points in the second half. So, but it's something that I wish the Lions did as far as going to the locker room and make those adjustments. It's got to be something that they approve on down the line, though. So I honestly think, and that's what I was telling my husband, Michigan plays to their opponent in the first half, and in the second half, they eat them the fuck up. It's just it's nothing around it. I mean, I enjoy it. I literally, and I'm sleepy, especially these night games, but the adrenaline is on 10 because this is my team, and like all of those like turnovers, and I just love it. The Michigan defense improves like by the weeks, and Jim Harbaugh is really doing his thing, and I truthfully believe Michigan is gonna run the table again this season and win the Big Ten. I mean, and that's just that. It is like, I mean, and if you don't agree with me, let me know. I love the comments. I love when I get the emails. I love it. So let me know because I'm listening 100%, and I want to know. Moving on to let me hit on Kyrie Irving situation right quick because I had somebody reach out to me about that, and I've been talking about that everywhere because people want to know. So Kyrie Irving posted a video. No, he did not post a video. He promoted a documentary, I believe, on his social media, and then everybody believed it was like very anti-Semitic or whatever from however they spun it. So it was like a lot of controversy. So the Nets finally suspended him, not the NBA, the Nets. And for him to come back, it was a list of shit that they put on him. He got to apologize. He has to pay $5,000 in a donation. He has to go through sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training, work with leaders, Jewish leaders, and talk to them, and then speak with the owner of the Nets to, demonstrate that he got an understanding of everything that he went through. Now, that seems excessive to me. Like, I'm not one for, being out here like, let me choose my words correctly. I know that Black people aren't treated fairly. Just period. Like, it's so much hate speech against, our race, from our race and music alone. So it's not like it's a fairness, but that's a lot to ask of someone who didn't really say, anything offensive. He posted this and told people to watch it, which is on a platform, and it has been on a platform, and now we're in an uproar, and then when he apologized, like he said, I'm not promoting hate speech, and I apologize for those who are offended, which people are offended by words. So many people were in the uproar about what's going on with Kanye West, and years before he said slavery was a choice. And so many people were upset, but that didn't stop people from supporting him. And I understand when you offend a group of people who can make things happen and will make things happen, what I see that this is doing is it shows that other communities stick more together than our own community. But originally when all of that popped off, like the owner, I mean, it took days for this to even come about. It wasn't immediate. And I just feel like this is bullying at this point. Like, are you trying to force this man to retire? It's weird. And then when he did make the donation, I read that it was returned to him. And I just feel like it's so many people who grow up not really knowing unless they really research and find out for themselves. Me, I love culture. I love having friends and different cultures and just learning things. I don't necessarily have to live like that, but to know, you to know who I am. I stayed in apartments with a girl from Japan when I was in college. And so that she wouldn't be alone over Christmas break, I took her home with me. She had a good time in the hood. We loved it. So it's just weird that instead of giving people the real opportunity to learn, it's like you're bullied into these things. And I just I don't know, like what is qualified as hate speech? How far is too far? Because it's all over Twitter since the new ownership. It's a lot. So when it's geared towards one culture or another, it's what it is. But I mean, wow. And it's crazy because, LeBron James came out and like definitely like really came at him, basically. And I get it being like the bigger name in the NBA, the face of the NBA, basically. But why couldn't he just leave it at, he apologized. I don't condone hate speech, but I just wish, we can continue to play basketball. Because if one thing everybody knows, sports do bring, everyone together. And it's just weird because, this same owner is considering bringing, I can't think of his name correctly right now, but the previous coach of the Celtics, the Celtics who's suspended for his extramarital affair with the person on the team. That was already controversy enough. And you're you fire your coach, you want to bring this coach in on top of, like, it's just, I don't know how they handle business in Brooklyn, but it's weird. It's really weird, and it sucks for Kyrie because I do think he should have apologized, and he did that. And I don't think what he did in the beginning was right because he didn't even really want to apologize. Then he come out and say he was sharing a documentary and blah blah blah. But then he finally realized, okay, let me apologize, But like, when do we hear that other people go through sensitivity training? Like, it's the world is turning so, it's a controlled world. Like, really, I don't know. And I hope that sports really do continue to bring people together because at the end of the day, what's going on with Kyrie is weird. And it offsets all the good that he's done, millions of dollars to feed people. And, he gave up millions for WNBA players to have a salary when they opted out of contracts. Like, none of that is going to mean anything because of this one thing. And it's like we believe in second chances. When it comes to our own, we want to give second chances, but when it comes to other people, it's like, no, this cancel culture, you out of there. And then you have to work so much harder to build your name back up. What happened to, we forgive you, you're ignorant, you now you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure he'll never do it again. So now but hey, it's unfortunate for Kyrie, definitely. And LeBron, he just out here. LeBron, he been showing his little tail on social media. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Why would you tell these folk you've been listening to them since 2010? Like, and I don't doubt that maybe they was doing music and it could have been underground and he was past like some kind of mixtape or something like that, like where he could say, it was like some unreleased music or whatever. I mean, hopefully he come out and say that. I haven't seen it yet, but it you he gonna be relevant however he gotta be relevant. And that's one thing about LeBron James. Like these new celebrities, I mean, see, I call them celebrities. These new basketball players, this just a whole new world. Like on Aladdin, a whole new world. People want to be seen, and it's weird. But let's move along because my hearts just start hurting. For people. Period. Like I just wish the world was not filled with so much hate. But what I'm doing, talking sports with y'all, sports brings people together. And it's good to be able to have dialogue and things, but I just think it's weird. Like you have certain people that really support and then you have others that don't. Like I do believe Kyrie came out in support of LeBron when they was telling him to shut up and dribble months ago, last year sometime. So, I mean, hey, I mean, it's weird. Like I think I don't know. I just hope again. I just hope that the world just we get some of this hate up out of here because we shouldn't hate each other like this. Like what happened to the village? Come on, y'all. So anywho, on to the Lions because I really been waiting to talk about the Lions all day anyway. I am so freaking proud of the defense. Like, come on. Like this is the defense we've needed all year and even better. Because I'm not even gonna say they was perfect because I mean, what was it like 1 punt in the game? But it was great. Like it was great when it needed to be great. Like Aaron Rodgers turned it over 3 times in the red zone, all 3 times to rookie, 2 to Kirby Joseph, 1 to Aiden Hutchinson. Like I'm just so proud of them. Like it's the win that we needed. Like it was a refreshing breath of fresh air. Like especially them being at home. Now I just want us to go away to Chicago and beat the Bears. Justin Fields is doing this thing. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there. Like let me take a step back because Geno Smith, all of them quarterbacks that they got on that could be MVP or should be MVP list. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins. They cute, all that. They good quarterbacks. The one who snuck on that list, Geno Smith should win. I'm a Geno for MVP. But either way it goes. No, Aaron Rodgers did not make that list. And it's because Green Bay has been shitty. 5 games now, like a 5-game losing streak. Like, who's out of there? Is it Aaron Rodgers that just gave him all that money, or is it Matt LaFleur? Because somebody's out. They fired Mike McCarthy, I believe, for less. Like, I don't even know if they record wasn't even a losing record. They wasn't winning as much as they was. And they got, he in Dallas quick. So who is it? Like, and it's like Devontae Adams. You know, everybody like, oh my God, since Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams split, they both suck. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, and the cap space is questionable very much because who at this point is going to pick up Aaron Rodgers? Like, I know Matthew Stafford had his chance because Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers, granted, is a great quarterback too. But it's like for where the NFL seems to be going, like, what other team is Aaron Rodgers going to succeed on? Because we see, remember it was the whole Denver trade before it was Russell Wilson in Denver. And even Russell Wilson was supposed to be the answer in Denver. And it's still going to voicemail. So where do we fit Aaron Rodgers in? Like, would it only work in Vegas because they got a Derek Carr? I mean, I don't know. I don't. I don't know. But furthermore, the Lions. What would be cute for me is if Matthew Stafford just came back. Like, y'all take Joff back and y'all fucking pick. No, I like that they're tank. I mean, I don't even think they're tanking. It's just, and I'm happy for Stafford. Let me start there. It's all over the place right now. I am happy for Stafford that he left and got his Super Bowl ring. This year, his line is just ridiculous, and Tyler Higbee is what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it. I don't know. I don't know. Like it just sucked for Stafford. So Stafford need to come on home. Come on home. They can go ahead and take Joff back, figure it out over there, and I mean, we gonna see. Or, we gonna get that pick anyway, and the way they plan, it's gonna be in the top 15. So it it I mean, Brad Holmes is really that draft capital, like what they wanted to achieve with the Lions in this rebuild, they're getting. And it's cute for real for us because me and my husband was talking about this, I think like just a few hours ago. How the Lions, like these rookies are just amazing, right? And you getting all these picks and you're continuing to build. And the Lions have been in a rebuild forever. And it's like what I was saying to him is I understood why Matthew Stafford wanted to go. I mean, he came into the Lions in a rebuild and they was building it every year. I mean, they still building, 13, 14 years later. So one thing I can see at the end of in this rebuild is it's actually building the team, and it's through the draft. It's not getting all these expensive ass players that's hitting the cap space that's really coming here and underachieving or not achieving at all, or even drafting shit players, like just players that didn't translate from college to the NFL, I guess. Eric Ebron, for one. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's the hope that you see at the end of the tunnel. And then it's these players that's drafted, up in the draft. Like, I'm happy Aiden Hutchinson got his first career interception against Aaron Rodgers. I mean, a quarterback who don't do that. Like, he got 3 interceptions against the Lions on Sunday. I believe last season it was like only 3 the whole season. This man don't do that. And so it's a beauty. Like Kirby Joseph, he did his thing. Like it makes you wonder what happens with Tracy Walker. You know what I'm saying? Like because this is not the player that you take out when a player gets healthy again, or next season. Is it between him or him? Like these are decisions that it's easy to make. And for Aaron Glenn's sake, this is the defense that needed to show up for him, and it's just, he gotta keep this up. Aaron Glenn, he has got to keep this up. Ben Johnson, he has got to evaluate Jared Goff. And in the offense, like, is it time to put Nate in? What do we do to win out? Because, I mean, and our offense will score. Joff will figure it out, but he also gonna turn that ball over. He gonna fumble. It's not what we want right now. Also, I'm gonna continue to say this every week, and y'all can just hear me or debate me, but DeAndre Swift has got to go. Like he gotta go. He do. I mean, I don't understand. Y'all talk about power back. Like, yes, he's good against a weak ass defensive lines. Our offensive line is good anyway. So, he gotta go. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, he can't stay healthy. And in some of these games, it's like DeAndre who is not Swift. So yeah. The Hawkinson trade, they traded Hawkinson last week for the picks, for the pick or whatever. And I think it was good because TJ Hawkinson was not doing anything for us. He was a great blocking tight end. But other than that, yes, and Hawk would take a lot of attention off of the younger receivers, the younger guys. I think that's a good reason why St. Brown had such a breakout year last year. But for what he was going to be wanting to be paid and how he performed, boy, let somebody else take that, and we're going to continue to rebuild. This is what a rebuild consists of. And people are not going to want to hear that because you want to win. But it's no way in hell the team is going to win down the line when it matters, because at this point the season's over. It's not like, we can get into a bowl game. We're going to the plate. No. You know what? The Bills lost too. They might can beat the Bills on Thanksgiving. You just never know with the Lions. So we just not even going to say that. The NFC sucks right now too. I mean, the NFC South is decent. Some of the teams. Some of the teams is okay. But other than that, the NFC suck. I'm trying to, not the North, but the East. Some of them teams is okay. But, yeah. I think the Lions, if they can miraculously pull it off for the rest of the season, they might pull something out. Hey. But I'm not looking forward to it. So, at the end of the day, we needed to build players. You got both touchdowns, I believe, was by them tight ends. The rookies. No, one of them is not a rookie, but the other one was. And it's good. It's good to see what they can do. They got to get out here and block, be on the line. Panay Sewell. Oh, he just had a baby. Congratulations. So I do think this is our the quarterback draft. And I wouldn't mind CJ Stroud if the Lions has a top pick. Bryce Young, would be cool too. But if I had to take my choice between the two, it would be and I don't even know. We gotta see. We gotta continue to see. Because the one from Tennessee, I believe can't think of it. I know it starts with an H. Hunter. Whatever. He's okay. But we got to see where the Lions pick because they might win out. This team, they probably right now still just on the field. I would after that win, because how are we going to continue this? Because it wasn't the cutest. It was cute. They held Green Bay to 9 points. Shut them out in the first quarter. Aaron Rodgers was so frustrated. And I'm loving the memes. Everybody across the U.S. is happy to see, I'm sure except for the people in Wisconsin and then those few fans in other states. But that's not majority. We're all happy. We're very much happy to see that Aaron Rodgers, is just you. It's showtime. And even Tom Brady, I knew Tom Brady was going to win. And that game was ugly. And Matthew Stafford is just, Tom Brady did what Tom Brady do. He came back last seconds of the game. And that's, I was biting my fingernails for the Lions. Please don't let Aaron Rodgers, But they held him. So it's good for Tom. Where do the Bucs go from here? It's still a lot of season to be, had. Well, I'm not going to say a lot, but it's enough games to see. I just don't see him coming back. Tom, go ahead and take that television media deal. Get out of here and enjoy life. And he's still setting records and he's still doing his thing. And I think he's had a phenomenal career, but it's time for him to go. Aaron Rodgers, fucking Andy Dalton, in Seattle. I mean, not Seattle. Sorry, Gino. New Orleans with the Saints. It's just some people. It's just time for Matt Ryan in Indianapolis, and you see they fired their coach. These teams ain't playing. And I'm proud of the Lions because what the Lions is showing us is that they're actually rebuilding. And that's really all we can ask for. As a fan, you're seeing the moves that Brad Holmes is making in these picks, that's coming in and making a difference. I mean, Levi, but that's one and what? The rest of them, St. Brown, is good. Rodrigo is, decent. And it was, I was happy to see him come back in the game against Green Bay because I was like, what is this defense going to do without him? But Josh Pascal, he's not hurt anymore. He's in the game making a difference. Aiden Hutchinson, and Sue came out yesterday and said that he wanted the Lions to build around Aiden Hutchinson. He didn't want the Lions to make the same mistake that they did with him. And I agree. And so I see that these players, former players, and just people across the league is really seeing the things that Brad Holmes and the team is trying to do. And that's great, recognition. But the Lions, we have to win these games. We have to close them out. And right now, they're not doing that. Well, they did it Sunday, though. They did close it out on Sunday. And so from here on out, what I want to see is those second half adjustments. I want to see the Lions close these games out and win more games. I want to see them go to the Bears and shove it up Justin Fields' ass. Like that defense, shut them down. And I'm excited. I'm super excited for next week, y'all. I can talk all day about this because I'm excited. But I got to go vote. I do, and I hope y'all voted too. By the time this show come out, the polls will still be open for at least 3.5 hours. I hope y'all voted, and if y'all did, let me know in the comments, like the video. Let me know you voted because we gotta make our voices heard. And this is the election where our voices are heard. It depends on what we vote. It's not an electoral college in this. So y'all get out here and vote no matter where you live, what you believe, vote. Read up on your politicians too. Take the time because just don't vote for anybody. Vote for people who believe in what you believe in and want you how you want to see your area ran. That's who you vote for. Also, support. Life Support Success Against All Odds is still out. mywhinneyb.com/life support is on Amazon. I'm almost in some other places. I'll tell y'all about that when it happens, but keep your fingers crossed for your girl and just, continue to support me. And make sure if you did purchase the book, leave a review because reviews count. Also, get your Sports Talk with Whitney B merch at mywhinneyb.com/shop and shop with your girl because, hey, I still got some merch too. And I'm out. What's up? What's up? You are now tuned in to Sports Talk with me, your girl Whitney B.